AI system. So agentic AI refers to the system that we can act autonomous, make decisions, or execute tasks with minimal human interventions. So in today's session, we'll be exploring what agentic AI and how it works and real world applications and why it is becoming a critical skills for professional across every industries. Right. So it's now gives me a great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Manas Dasgupta, sorry. So, as you all know, he's having over 2 decades of experience in technology and leadership. And also, he's having an extensive delivery product and AI experience in financial services, MarTech, and also HR tech, and also e-learning tech spaces. So he held executive position in leading global banks such as Royal Bank of Scotland and ANZ Bank. He also holds a master's in AI and ML and best-selling AI ML courses author on top global platforms like O'Reilly, Pact, and Coursera, Udemy. So he is one of our leading GenAI enabled SaaS product development on talent management, and also he is having a marketing automation and e-learning experience. So it's pleasure having you today, Mr. Manas Gupta. Over to you.
Thank you. Can I share my presentation? Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
sure.
Uh, Can you all see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
All right. Good evening, all. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, from wherever you have joined from. So let's have a rocking next 1.5 hour talking about AI agents. So I would like to share as much information as possible from my side, but we would also expect you to be more interactive. Ask any question during the session that you have at any point of time, either through the chat, which Yashwant can monitor and maybe stop me, and we can stop to answer those questions. So that is also how we can make the session more beneficial to you. Right. So let's get started. Now, what is AI and AI agents? So when we talk about AI, immediately what comes into mind are ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. Claude is doing great. It's having 40% of the AI market at this moment, and extremely powerful models and etc. Now, that is one of the common perception. That is probably the predominant perception of AI. That is ChatGPT or Gemini, Claude, etc. Now, those of you who have some background of data science or machine learning, when you talk about AI, you will probably take back your notion to the to reference data science and ML, which is also another fascinating space of AI. However, that is more hardcore than what we can do perform achieve using ChatGPTs. ChatGPTs are more application based. ChatGPT are intended for all kind of audiences, all kind of tasks. ML has to be built. ML has to be specific to a particular function, and ML. Building ML models can be a little bit difficult. So you have to have hardcore knowledge about data science, how to choose various algorithms for creating models for a particular use case, and so on and so forth. So we'll not go to ML, we will not go to data science, and we will also not go to ChatGPT. Instead, today we are going to talk about AI agents. So how's AI agents different than the ChatGPT? All right. So let's say, for instance, if I don't go to this slides, and just give me one moment. So let's say I go to chatgpt.com, right? Now, what is ChatGPT in your mind? Anyone? You can answer in your chat. Can you see my screen? Somebody said.
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay, so Benjamin, it's a chatbot. Daniel, you have said it's a text prediction model. Eric, you were saying it's an assistant. Rama helps in generating content, images, so on. An AI tool, generative AI tool, and so on. All right, okay. I mean, thanks for attempting the question. ChatGPT is a tool. It is an conversational assistant. So some one of you have also said it's an assistant. One of you have told it's a tool. It's a tool. Specifically, it's a conversational assistant. Is ChatGPT AI? No, it's a tool. It's a conversational assistant. It's a chatbot. Now, what is AI in ChatGPT then? The AI in ChatGPT is the model that is used by ChatGPT, right? And what is that model? The model is in here, right? So if you, okay, so they no longer show the models that are used by ChatGPT. Let me see. Yes. So thinking 5.4, they no longer show the models in ChatGPT. How will I know what are the models used by ChatGPT? If I go to Google and say OpenAI models, you will come to this page, models OpenAI API. And in this page, you will find all the model descriptions that OpenAI has. And currently, OpenAI probably uses GPT 5.4 and choose between GPT 5.4 mini or nano and etc. Based on your subscription, based on the kind of task that you are performing, etc. That is the model that is behind ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is not the model. ChatGPT is not AI. ChatGPT is a conversational assistant, and it uses AI, that is the model, LLM model, that is the AI for ChatGPT. Similarly, if you go to Gemini or go to Claude, the interface of Gemini or interface of Claude or interface of DeepSeek, they are conversational assistant. What is there at the back of those conversational assistant are the large language models, which are, if you search for Claude models, if you search for Gemini models, you will get similar models pages and you will find the description of or details of specification, technical specification of all the models within Gemini, within Claude, and etc. Right? So if that is the case, what is AI agent? So we are kind of getting clarified as to what is AI. So what is AI agent then? Anyone? Give it a try. Any answer is good. All right. It's a personalized tool, something that uses a model to do a task. Yes. A chatbot. A chatbot can also be an agent, perform specific human task. Okay. So let's say, for instance, you are in the finance department and you perform some complicated task like financial reconciliation between multiple different reports. You can replace that task, human task, using an agent. All right, and that AI agent is going to so that agent is going to use AI, that is a large language model in the back, right? Okay, agent is something which has agency to work on its own, continuously learn based on data. All right, yes, very interesting answer. That is correct. So it has control, it has agency, it knows what to do, it has been told what to do, it has been given a goal, etc., etc. It does work for you like an employee. Yes, absolutely. Like Claude's co-work. Yes, so there are some very interesting answers in the chat box, right? So yes, so we will wait a little bit before we actually go to AI agents, learn AI agents, and then we will also have a hands-on exercise, hands-on demo as to how you can create an AI agent using a visual tool without writing code. All right. Okay. So let's come back to the presentation for a moment. Now, starting with why do we need to learn AI agents? Or why do we want to learn AI? See, if I have more than 25 years of experience. So when I started my journey career at that point of time, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel, all those things were becoming popular, right? Now that is a transformation in the way people used to work. I mean, not only IT, but I'm talking about Microsoft Word and Excel and etc. I'm not talking about only IT people, but I'm talking about literally everybody who used to do something, mostly white collar. I'm talking about white collar workers. Any white collar worker would have Word, Excel, and then internet, etc., mail, etc., in their mix of things, in the mix of tools that they use every day. Now, that is the same thing that is happening now. So at that point of time, people learned using mails, people learned using spreadsheets, people learned using word processor like Microsoft Word, people learned using internet, etc., etc. That was inevitable. Even if people didn't want to learn, they had to learn because those are the tools which became de facto tools for performing your jobs. Now that is exactly what is happening now. AI is becoming the de facto tool, another de facto tool for performing any work. Now, it is not going to be a choice. It is exactly the same kind of transformation that is happening right now. Even if you are an accountant, if you are a content producer, if you are a course author, if you are a marketing professional, if you are a coder, doesn't matter. You need to know AI because without AI, you are going to lag behind in terms of quality and productivity of the output of anything that you do. That is for sure. Mostly. I'm not talking about artists whose job is painting pictures. So that probably not touched very well by AI. But apart the common tasks, common functions that we perform, be it IT, be it non-IT, it is going to be AI is going to be all pervasive in every function that we commonly see around us, right? That is the same kind of transition that is happening. Now, for IT professionals, and most of you, I guess, are IT professionals. For IT professionals, the imperative is slightly different than, let's say, for a marketing professional or an HR professional, or for that matter, a course author, or um, for that matter, say, for instance, a finance professional. The imperative for IT professionals is that we need to know how to expedite. There are two things that we need to know. Number one, let's say we perform programming, or let's say we are, some of us are uh, DevOps engineers, right? We may not be programming every day, but we perform some tasks. We need to know how to expedite productivity in our function, in those functions, either programming or performing our DevOps SRE engineering jobs, etc., etc. We need to know how to improve quality and become, say, 60% more productive. So if I was taking something, if I was taking 10 hours to perform a particular task previously, with AI, I should be able to bring it down to 4 hours or 3 hours or even less, right? That is one thing that we need to understand. If we don't understand, your friend is going to learn AI and is going to improve their productivity from 10 hours to 4 hours. If you don't take the initiative to learn AI, implement AI, you are going to be the one who is producing the same output, worse quality, 10 hours. The second thing you need to know is how to embed AI in what you are producing. I'm not talking about productivity. I'm not talking about um, quality of your programming outcomes. I'm talking about the products that we are developing. How are you embedding AI in those products. So for instance, if you look around a few years back, there are lots of SaaS products around. Some of you may be working in SAP. Some of you may be working in Oracle Financials. Some of you may be working in MS Dynamics. Some of you may be working in, I don't know, Adobe Experience Center, or what is that called? I don't know. Right? Some of you may be working in CRM development. Some of you may be working in different other SAP products, HubSpot, let's say, right? So all these were SaaS products, very popular, and a lot of IT professionals are engaged, and some of you are also engaged in developing, working, customization, supporting some of them. Now, the transformation that is happening today, if you notice minutely, all of those SaaS products and the products that organizations are, other products that organizations are using in today's date. What are they doing? How are they transforming them? They are enabling them with AI. Why are we enabling them with AI? Say, for instance, you use Jira. Okay, some of you may be using Jira because your projects are in agile mode and etc. So you use Jira to manage your sprints. Is Jira the same Jira that it was 3 years back? No, they have transformed. How have they transformed? They have brought in AI, and they are bringing AI very rapidly within Jira. So previously, the project manager or the Scrum Master used to manually create a report. Today, the Scrum Master is using a prompt within Jira to produce a report from the sprint. Previously, the Scrum Master used to use a hard-coded filter within Jira to search for specific tickets. Today, the Scrum Master or the other Agile team members are writing prompts within Jira to search for a specific ticket. Isn't that so? So what I'm alluding to is that when you are working on developing products, you should be able to know how to conceptualize AI-based features within those products that you are developing and how to implement those AI-based features, right? So that's why the professionals who thrive in the next decade won't be replaced by AI. They will be the ones who know how to work with it. So that becomes our imperative, right? So I was giving you some examples of irrespective of your function, your marketing, you are in finance, you are in engineering, etc. All the tasks that we perform, most of them can be automated using AI. And for us, for IT engineers, the imperative is different than, so for instance, a finance professional can perform finance reconciliation using various AI tools and automate the financial reconciliation function. Let's say, for instance, invoice matching with contract. So they can be AI agents that can be used by finance. So they're probably not writing or developing AI agents, but they are using those AI agents or various tools to automate their functions. And for engineering folks, IT engineers, the imperative is how to improve your quality using AI tools like, let's say, for instance, Cursor, GitHub Copilot within your VS Code, etc. And also how to conceptualize and build AI features within the products that you are developing, right? So that is how you are augmenting and automating your functions and products, okay? Right, I'll jump to, yeah. So let's start getting introduced to AI agents. So we have seen a number of very good answers on the question of what are AI agents. So what are AI agents? AI agents are proactive. They can initiate subtasks and adapts based on intermediate results. All right. So AI agents can adapt themselves. How can AI agents adapt themselves? AI agents work with something called context. So The masterclass is leads to a particular course, the AI agentic course. In the AI agentic course, we will be learning how to perform context engineering, prompt engineering, and more precisely, context engineering. Now, context is something that helps agents learn about yourself or the function that you're performing and be more effective in responding with the accurate answers. And it is proactive, it has multi-step loop. So traditional machine learning is like it's a single step process. You have a problem statement or problem area, you create a model, and that model is supposed to perform only one task. AI agents are able to, can be orchestrated or can be architected in a way to perform a very complex task. How do we do that? We create an agent which has multiple steps. It can be 10 steps, it can be 20 steps. It is a combination of various things. It can be, so you can see that some of the examples are, it can be a planning step, it can be an action step, there can be multiple action steps, it can be observe steps. So context gathering and context analysis, reflection on the context, reflection on the intermediate outputs, repeat until done. This process can repeat and extend, and you can get your accurate answers. It is autonomous. Once you create an AI agent and it has orchestration built in within the AI agent, it can autonomously use tools. It can make a decision based on the task that you are giving it. And an AI agents can perform multiple different types of tasks as well. So based on the task type that you have given it, it can take decisions as to which tools to use, which API to use. And now in the Agentic AI upGrad's AI agentic course, we will also learn a very special type of tool, which is called, what is a very special type of tool that AI agents can use? Anybody guess? MCP. So we will also learn how to develop model context protocols. So they are becoming a lot of you have worked with REST APIs, right? It's very common. So if you want to perform something and yeah, REST APIs. So, and there are different kind of APIs. So you may be well versed in REST APIs, but for the context of AI agents, the context of AI agents or RAG applications, the equivalent of REST API, and we will see the nuances and the differences between REST APIs and model context protocols as to these MCPs can be developed and MCPs can be built as or assigned to agents as tools. So here is Mr. Agent. Here is a couple of MCPs that you can use based on the question that is asked to you. You can use this MCP or that MCP or maybe both, right? All right. So so that's a little bit about agents. Some of the components of agents, right? What is the core engine behind AI agents? What is the core engine behind AI agents? Easy. LLM, absolutely. Niranjana, Pavitra, the model, Eric, yes, absolutely, yes. The core engine behind AI agent is the AI, the large language model, right? So the ChatGPT page that we went to, so these are all the models that we have, and these are all the models that we can use from within AI agents, and that is the core of, or the brain of, or the reasoning engine of the AI agent. Then you have memory, all right? So what is memory? Okay, so let's say, for instance, you go to ChatGPT. All right, so I go to ChatGPT. Okay, and you can see that. Let's come to. All right, so say analytics platform blueprint. I was researching on analytics platforms. All right. So yeah, so I have asked a few questions. We are a content production company, etc., etc. And I asked a question, it gave some answer. Then I asked a um, second question, and then I asked a third question, etc. Now, in context of this particular thread, is in context of this particular conversation, what is memory? Can anybody say? So the memory is when I ask a question, yes, historical chats. Yes, absolutely. All the data in the conversation, information that I can use later. Yes. So in the context of this particular conversation, this set of questions that I asked, if I ask some follow-up question which refers to one or two questions and the answers previous to the current question, it can refer to that question and answer. So that is memory. So every time I'm asking a question, it is not an isolated question and answer set. It refers to the memory in the conversation, right? Can it? Yes, yes, absolutely. Samir, good answer. All right, so that's the memory. So now can somebody say that, okay, so this is the thread memory. All right, so this is one thread. So these are all individual threads. So I'm in this analytics platform blueprint thread, and I am asking question, and every question that I ask can refer back to the previous set of questions, so which is good. But then can my model, can ChatGPT refer back to answers from the other threads? Yes, it can. Previously, that was not possible. And now what happens is that the important information from each of the threads are going there in the memory of ChatGPT, and you will be able to refer back to the other thread question answers as well, right? May not be everything in detail, but important information, definitely, yes, it is possible. So this is one of the biggest changes that is happening within the AI world. What is that change? The ability to ingest and spew, that is output, huge amount of context in terms of the context window is increasing, right? So now the amount of information that it can punch in within one question is humongous, right? A million tokens or half a million tokens, something like that. Where will you get those information? If you browse this model pages, you will find all those information in the model cards. So if you click on one of the models, you will find information on context windows. They have changed this yeah. So per 1 million token, there should be context window somewhere. State of the art image generation, context window, context window. Let me check. Yeah. So this is where the context window was is mentioned. So so in the course, so we will go more in detail about what exactly is context window, and what do you punch in the inside the context window in the API. So now, yeah, so we understand memory now, and this is the kind of memory that we also need to build in within the AI agents, tools and integrations. So let's say, for instance, your ChatGPT can you ChatGPT refer to internet? So let's say, for instance, if you ask a question, can it extract the answer from the internet rather than its own memory? Yes, it can, right? Excellent. So it can. So how is it doing that? So it is using some kind of web scraping API in the runtime. and it is using that. So that is a tool. So if I consider ChatGPT as an agent, it has a memory and it also has a tool, which is the web scraping or web extraction tools. And it is pulling the data from the internet. So how will we get those kind of tools? So let's say, for instance, I give you an example saying Firecrawl. And these are also things that we will have in the course. So Firecrawl is one such engine. Okay, one such engine which is very prominent. And if you go to Firecrawl and if you understand, if you read through the product description, there are multiple products. So if you have web search, you have web scraping, you have web crawling, and all of those capabilities. So using Firecrawl API, so you can use Firecrawl APIs if you want to build ChatGPT like web reference capabilities within your AI agents. So you have tools and integration. Let's say, for instance, I give an example that, okay, so you are creating a finance invoice validation agent. So your input is a bunch of invoices, and your agent need to validate. It needs to validate the invoice against a particular contract or agreement with a particular vendor who has sent that invoice, right? So the agent can make a decision which contract needs to be referenced, and when it needs to reference that, it probably, if the contract is stored in a, let's say, document format, it probably needs to refer to an API, which will be assigned as a tool within that particular agent uh, to extract the information from the contract and then match the invoice against that. I mean, that's one example, right? So a tool can be an MCP, a tool can be a REST API, a tool can also be this REST API, but this kind of external services like Firecrawl, which provides you the web scraping, web search, web crawling kind of features, right? Which can mimic the web reference capabilities of ChatGPT. Right. What else do we have? Planning and orchestration. Your agent will also have a planning and orchestration. It'll have actions and input, etc. So let's say, for instance, if you are creating an agent, you need to also produce an output. Now, producing an output is a very critical thing. Now, your agent can be a chatbot, in which case you will expect the output in the form of a, say, formatted output, like a document or an article or something like a blog, a response, something like that, right? But your agent can also be referenced from somewhere in your product, right? So let's say, for instance, the report generation agent within Jira. Now that has to return back structured output to Jira application. If you need to do that, then you need to produce a JSON from the agent. So in that case, you need to take care of the structuring of the output. So based on what is required out of the agents, you need to use JSON or you need to structured output. There are various techniques of creating structured output, or you also can provide a structure, kind of structure of the response, so to say, may not be JSON, based on what is required out of the agent. So action and output are also very important, right? So with that, so there are some cases. I mean, we were touching up some cases. Now, what are the various tools that are typically um, typically involved in developing agents? So there are various types of tools. LangChain is perhaps the most popular frameworks that is used for developing agents. Okay, and for more sophisticated agents, for retrieval augmented generation and simple agents, you can use LangChain. You can also use Llama Index, which is from Meta. You can use LangGraph, which is also from LangChain, if your agent is more complex, more sophisticated. And you can also have you can also use Crew AI or AutoGen, which is Microsoft's. And there are different patterns of agents that these guys provide. Now, LangChain is not exactly same as Crew AI. The use cases when you will use LangChain and the use cases in which you use Crew AI or LangGraph or AutoGen are different, can be different. So you also need to understand how you should choose the framework that is going to be used for developing your agents. Now, when we talk about LangChain, Llama Index, Crew AI, AutoGen, these are language-based frameworks. So if you can go to, let's say, LangChain and kind of research on some documentation of LangChain. So this is LangChain's. There are LangChain's products. LangChain, this is the agent development framework. There is also LangGraph, build reliable agents with low-level control, etc. There is observability. They have a product called Langsmith. We will also learn that for tracing the execution for latency, token usage, and so on and so forth. We will learn Langsmith for that evaluation on different metrics of the agent performance can be using Langsmith for deployment also, etc., etc. So when you use Langsmith, you need to use Python or JavaScript for developing LangChain-based agents or Crew AI-based agents, or for that matter, AutoGen-based agents, right? On the other side, you have another set of products like Flowise, okay? If you go to Flowise, so Flowise is another type of product which is based on LangChain framework, but it is a visual agent developer framework, right? And today we are going to see the example of an agent. So we are going to explain to you. We are going to see how we can build an agent like this, which is also a multi-agent construct, agent 0, agent 1, and agent 2. So 3 agents are constructed within this particular multi-agent construct to perform a research and create an article on a particular topic, right? In multiple steps. Okay, so Flowise, N8N, Make, etc. are examples of visual development tools, visual agent development tools, using which you can create agents. You can use you can create simple agents without writing any code. If you want to create more sophisticated, more complex agents, you can use this still, but you can embed, say, for instance, you need to perform a number of validations within your Flowise agent. You can write custom JavaScript code or custom Python code and attach it to an agent node in Flowise or N8N, etc. Okay, so you can embed custom code as well. But simple agents you can create very well in Flowise. The example that we are going to see now is created without writing any code. All right, so these are 2 different types of frameworks, and in our course, AI Agentic course, we are going to look at some of the Python-based or language-based frameworks, as well as some of the visual AI development tools as well. Right. So with that, we are going to look at our first agent example using Flowise. But I'll stop for a moment and ask if there are any questions till now. All right. Are there some question? Retrieval of generation. Let me see if there are any question in the chat. Okay. So we can take, so funny, Sai Deepak is asking, we can take reference of Gemini, Claude, and build this agent. So yes, you can. So the agents that we will build, say for instance, this one, will have a model associated with it. And that can be an OpenAI model, GPT model, it can be a Gemini model, it can be a Claude model, any model that you want can be used in an agent node. Irrespective, you are using LangChain, using Python or JavaScript, or you are using a visual tool like Flowise or N8N, you can use any model that you want. Okay, but the only thing that you have to be sure about is that the model is suitable for the task that you are trying to perform. Okay, short storage may okay next time. All right, okay. Difference between what is the difference between simple and Postgres memory? Postgres memory. All right, so Postgres is a database, but Postgres and can also be used as agent memory, right? Postgres gives a lot of embedding vector-based features, and Postgres can be used. But we will probably not use Postgres in the AI agent course. We will use internal memory of, so let's say, for instance, if I click on this agent, you will see there is a memory enablement. Okay, so if I enable this memory, it will enable the memory just like ChatGPT's memory is. It captures all the conversations. We will also see how we can use external, not this one. We will use Upstash Redis. Yeah, we will use Upstash Redis for our memory. So this provides a key value pair feature, and Redis being Redis, it is super fast, and it can be used as not sure. One second. Yeah. Okay, so I was not using it for some time, so it is deleted, but nevertheless, so Upstash Redis is an example of external memory system, key value pair memory system, super fast. And we will see examples of how we can use Redis for agentic memory. Okay, but Postgres can also be used. What is RAG? RAG is a type of agent, you can say. So essentially, one of the things. Okay, so when we go to this particular slide, I think one of the things that is, yeah, here, memory. So you see this reference to something called vector database. So vector database is a type of storage that RAG application, retrieval augmented generation application, and AI agents use extensively. So what is RAG? So let's say, for instance, you are working with data for your application, and you normally store your data and manage your data out of relational databases or NoSQL databases like either DynamoDB or MongoDB or something like that, right? So those are the kind of de facto standards of data storage mediums that we use. However, when we are working with the large language models, you perform different type of functions called semantic operations, semantic search or semantic similarity operations. Now, when you are using natural language for performing operations within your AI agents or RAG applications, you need to store data, which is unstructured language data, text data, in the form of not text, but something called embedding vectors. And for managing embedding vector-based data, we use something called vector databases. So what are vector databases? Okay, so if you go to ChatGPT and go to a new chat and ask it, what are the popular vector databases? Okay, Can anyone name some of the popular vector databases? Let me switch this off. Can somebody name popular vector databases? Anyone? No, Snowflake. I don't know if Snowflake can be used as a vector database. I actually don't know. So typically, for learning or small agents purposes, there are a couple of products that are used. One is called Chroma. This one over here. So you can ChromaDB is one of them. You can use PG Vector as well, and there is another one called FAIS, FAISS. So Chroma, FAIS, those kind of products can be used for learning purposes. You can set it up quickly on your local laptop, and you can use them. But for production purposes, you will always use something like Pinecone or VB8 or Milvus or Qdrant, which are more popular. Postgres is another vector database. Postgres also has its own vector database, which is called PG Vector. MongoDB has some vector embedding features. Elasticsearch has a vector database option. Redis has, and Amazon Web Services. AWS has OpenSearch. Google Cloud has Vertex AI. Azure has a vector AI search, Azure AI search, etc. Right. So these are examples of vector databases. So typically, in my organization, I invariably use this pinecone.io. So this is the vector database I commonly use. And in the Agentic AI course also, we will see some examples with, so this is managed vector database, cloud hosted managed vector database, very reliable, one of the most popular vector databases. Okay, so that is a vector database. And we will see various types of usages, applications of Pinecone within AI agents. Right, so now without further ado, we will see our agent. Now, what is, so I said remaining questions I can take at the end. So what I said is Flowise is a visual agent builder tool. There are two different types of agent development options within Flowise. One is chat flow and agent flow. All right, so chat flow is more linear type, agent flow is multi-agent collaboration, and more sophisticated agent constructs is agent flow. Right, we will see the example of an agent flow, multi-turn research agent. You can create lots of different types of agents. Now, how did I install Flowise? You can go to Flowise, you can download the Docker container. So you can install Docker container, run Docker container on your laptop, easiest for your learning. Install Docker container, go to search and search for Flowise, pull the Docker container. So let's say if I search for Flowise, you will find Flowise. Yeah. Yeah, so this one or this one. So you pull the Docker image, so I have pulled the Docker image and it is running within my Docker container, Docker desktop, and I have just switched on, started the container, and that's about it. And it is running on my port 3000, right? And I'm going to go to this multi-turn research agent. So how do you create it first? Add new, and you can start creating agent, your visual agents. Right now, you can see this visual agent has nodes. Okay, it has nodes. There are different types of nodes. Now, the agent flows always start with something called a start node. How do you create a start node? If I create another, say, localhost other window of this, you can go to agent flow. You can go to add new, and it'll start with start one. Okay, and then you want to create an agent. All right. So if you sorry, if you go click on this plus sign, you see this. There's the first option. There are other options. There are conditions. There are condition agents. There are custom functions. So I said you can put custom code also. HTTP request. If you have an API and you want to make a call to that API, you can create an HTTP request. Human in the loop. You want to create a you want your agent to stop after a certain number of steps for human approval. And we will see how we can create those approval steps within agents. It's called human HILT, human in the loop. You can create iterations, you can create LLM nodes, you can create retrieval nodes for retrieval augmented generation, and etc. etc. Okay, so you can click on the plus sign, you can click on agent and drag it here. You can connect this to just drag and drop. You can click on this. There are a bunch of options. Here are a bunch of options, and we will go back to this one to study how we have created this agent, right? So it is as simple as click and drag and drop and populating various options in the visual builder. So simple to medium complexity agents can be easily built without writing any code, without technical knowledge, using Flowise and N8N. And we will see a lot of examples of Python-based agent development, and we will also see a lot of examples of visual agent development, including pretty complex constructs. All right, so if we come back to this, so this is the start node. And in the start node, you can have the input, okay? So how do I use this? How do I use this agent or agent flow? I have this chat option on the top right-hand corner, okay? I'll clear this one, right? And this is a chat-based agent, but you can also create a form-based agent. So the input is going to be form-based. So you can mention a form title, a form description, and etc. etc. There are other fields that need to be populated. All right. And also, if you are from an IT background and programming, a little bit of programming background, you must have worked with variables, program variables, and you can create those program variables to maintain state of certain things throughout your agent flow by defining flow state variables. So these key value pairs are actually initializing variables just like you initialize variables within your programs. So that is something that you need to define in start. So what this agent is going to do is basically, the goal of this agent is basically, I am going to ask for, I'll give a topic to this agent flow to research on, and it is going to research on that topic and create an article in a particular given format. That format is determined or defined in agent 2, the last agent. Okay, so that's something that I'm going to ask it. Now it's going to perform that task. Now when you ask something like that to ChatGPT, ChatGPT will come back with an answer. So what the way I have created this, or no, we've created this, is that we have created an agent node called topic enhancer. Now, when you create an agent node, so the final outcome basically is going to be a research article. So now I'm going to explain to you how the research happens within this agent. It's not a straightforward thing. I'm not just sending the question to LLM and asking the answer back. There are different steps. We have created an iterative research process within this agent to get to the final answer. Why did we do that? Because we wanted to be a well-researched and deliberated and validated answer rather than a one-shot answer. Okay. So the first thing is a topic enhancer node. Why do I need a topic enhancer node? The user who who is using this agent, one second, the person who is using this agent can give a very rough, compact version of the topic. Now, the agent may get confused if it is too small and lacks information, etc. So I have created a topic enhancer node, agentic node, which will have a prompt saying your only role is to improve the user query for more clarity. Do not add any meta comments. Meta comments, additional information. Just expand, elaborate on the question that is asked by the user. So it's, say, for instance, I want to research on multi-agent collaboration. And the user writes on the chat box, multi-agent. Okay, so that's not complete, that's not useful. So this topic enhancer node is going to take this prompt. Your role is to improve the user query. So it sees that user query is multi-agent. So it is going to expand it to multi-agent collaboration or multi-agent construct or multi-agent architecture, etc. Now, AI is unpredictable. So you also have to be careful that what kind of topic, so what kind of question that a user is asking, and when the topic enhancer is improving the topic, how it should improve. So if there are specific information or a specific instruction that you want to give, that instruction has to be created within this message, which is essentially a prompt. Okay. All right. So now in the, what is there behind the agent, any agent? So we have multiple agents. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 agentic nodes. So it's starting with, or rather, two agentic nodes, proper agentic nodes. These are LLM nodes. So if you click on the plus sign, you can see this is an agent. This is an LLM node. So essentially, we can ask a question to the LLM in the form of this content, which is basically the messages, and you can get the answer back. So the topic enhancer will output the enhanced topic detail. So what is the essential component for this particular node? The LLM, right? So you can see there is this field called model. So I have mentioned the chat OpenAI model. So I am using the OpenAI model here, but there was another question in the chat box somewhere. Can we use other models, Gemini or Claude? You can see that you have plethora of options. You can use any of this option. You can use Perplexity, you can use Grok, you can use DeepSeek, you can use NVIDIA's models, you can use Mistral models, you can use Cohere models, you can use Anthropic models, you can use Azure models, Bedrock models, AWS Bedrock models, Alibaba models, whatnot. Okay, you have got plenty of options. But what you need to do is you need to research on the model that you are going to use for your agent is suitable for you. All right, so you choose your model, you choose your messages, you can have memory enabled, etc., etc., and then you are going to go ahead. So there are other constructs and there are other parameters. We don't have time today in the masterclass to go through all of those. Then you are going to create the first agent. Now the first agent, the agent also uses the model. So you have to set the model. And for setting the model, so you set the model, which is great, but you also need a credential. So you need to make sure that you are going to go to OpenAI platform, and from here, go to API keys on the left panel. And from here, you have to create an API key. All right. So that API key is going to be created. So if you go to credentials option, you have to create a credential and assign that API key over here. And your agent is going to use that OpenAI API key credential, right? Now, what is the prompt that I'm using for this particular agent? I'm saying you are agent 0. Your goal is to explore any topic provided by the user in depth with agent 1, right? Introduce the topic to agent one, share your initial thoughts and assumption that, so it is going to research and it is going to create the initial output about the topic that is given. Now, there is one critical thing here. Research and share, use the SERP API tool or the web scraper tool, right? So now if we go to ChatGPT, you can see there is web search. What is it? It is a tool. Can you use this kind of tools here in my agents? Yes, that is what I'm doing. So where am I going to set them? You come to the tools section of the agent. So that is not present in the LLM node. That is present. The tool option is present in the tools option is present in the agent node, right? You can assign as many tools. So web scraper tool is a internal, native tool within Flowise. So you can use the web scraper tool, and SERP API is an external tool. So you go to SERP API for Google search, not search API, SERP API, this one. All right, so I've got an account. I have to log in, sign in. So I've created an account and I can log in. And I've got my API key over here. And with that, I come back into the SERP API. So I have created credential for SERP API also. So this is the credential for SERP API that is being used as parameter, the connect credential for SERP API. So SERP API is going to give my agent the ability to make internet Google searches, and the web scraper tool is going to give the ability to go into any URL that is extracted by the SERP API tool, to go into those URLs and scrape the data from those URLs. There are two different things. The SERP API returns search results, including URLs. Web scraper tool takes those individual URLs and scrape data from those pages. Understand the distinction, all right? So these are the two tools that are embedded here, and you are saying that, boss, please create your initial research, use the SERP API tool, use the web scraper tool, and go ahead and pass the detail to agent one, which is the collaborator. So the agent zero output is going to come to agent one, and it is going to have a similar one. Acknowledge the topic agent zero introduces and share your own thoughts, feelings, and it also has the SERP API and SERP API and the web scraper tools. So if you see below, these are the two tools that are mentioned in this particular agent. So you see this markings, this icons, so web scraper, and so with this icon you can get to know which tools are associated with this agents. And then check iteration is a condition node. It is going to iterate for a couple of times, and it is going to loop back. And if the iteration count is less than that set number, it is going to loop back to agent zero, which is agent zero over here. So this is going to iterate a couple of times, and that is why the check iterations node is here. And check iteration node, you can see, what is that? Condition. First is condition. Yeah, so the check iteration is the condition, and then loop back is this particular node. So any particular type of node you can create using this plus sign. And then finally, when it is done, agent zero gives its final answer. This particular agent is producing an output with title, abstract, introduction, main body, etc., etc., etc. All right. So this is my agent. All right, agent flow in Flowise, which does not contain any code, developed completely using visual drag and drop feature, but it contains, or it embeds, all the properties, or a lot of critical properties, or key properties of AI agents, and it uses the LLMs, that is the engine behind the AI agents, and it is going to produce answer, right? So what do we want to research on? Let's say, for instance, create an article on mixture of experts model type. What is the example of which is the most popularly known mixture of experts model? DeepSeek. What is mixture of experts model? So let's go ahead and ask it to create the research article. So you can see that the agent is working and it is iterating and it is coming back. Oh, it is pretty fast. It's coming back with the answer. So it has iterated a couple of times. You have seen visually, and it is coming back with the answer. All right, here you go. So that is, you have your abstract executive summary, introduction, exploring core themes, analyzing, this is the body, implications and future directions, conclusion, etc., etc. So this is the article that it has created. All right, so sorry. So if we go to agent 2 and check out its prompt, you can see that I have asked it to create the title, abstraction, introduction, main body, synthesis of insights, implications, and future directions. That section was there, and the conclusion. Style and tone, you have to put it in the prompt. Extensive and in-depth. The paper should be thorough and detailed, well-structured, analytical, etc., etc. All right, so all these are built in within the agents as prompts, right? So this is how you can create an agent, an AI agent using a visual tool like Flowise. And in the Agentic AI course also, we will use Flowise. We will use all those constructs. We will use Python. We will use LangChain in Python, LangGraph, and also use Flowise and N8N, etc. All right, and also extensively how to develop MCPs as tools, Model Context Protocol. All right, so with that, I will rest and take a few questions. Mm. Which tool similar to Flowise? This one can use, so N8N is, N8N you can use, so you can use Make, you can use Zapier. So for a GenAI tool, there will be many agents. So you can have multiple agent nodes within one particular agent flow that is possible. So in our case, we have 3 or 4 or 2 agents and a couple of LLM nodes as well. For some part of the course, there is Python knowledge required. Let's say, for instance, when we are using LangChain or LangGraph, we need a little bit of basic idea about Python. But for portions where we are learning to develop agents using Flowise or N8N, we do not need any Python knowledge. IS, you can definitely learn agent development using Flowise and N8N. And you can also pick up the LangChain, LangGraph stuff. If you so for this particular course, there is also a self-help module on Python, and that can be that you can pick up within 3 or 4 days. Python is actually such an easy language; anybody can learn it in a very short time. Um, Second, Yashwant, do you want to take over?
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
Any of them have few more questions, we can.
What is a real use case of these agents in organization? A lot of real use cases. So let's say, for instance, I'll give you an example. I My team has recently created as a prototype. So there is a customer who is in e-bike retail business. Okay. Now they wanted an agent for their website. So the agent will work like this. There is a chatbot. So the user doesn't have to know there is an AI agent or whatever agent, etc. The user comes in and asks, I am looking for a mountain bike, right? So if the user says, I'm looking for a mountain bike, the agent will categorize the question that this user is looking for a mountain bike, extract the information, key information here that is looking for mountain bike, and then it will have a number of tools associated with it. And one such tool is perhaps an MCP or a REST API, which is connected to a database, which makes an SQL call and pulls the information about mountain bikes. So the agent is going to convert the question into an SQL, a dynamically constructed SQL, sends it to the REST API. That SQL command gets executed. The JSON is returns back to the agent. Agent converts the JSON into the properly constructed answer and shows it to the user. And then the agent also asks, okay, what kind of mountain bike are you using? Are you looking for a manual bike? Are you using an battery operated bike? Are you using, where are you going to use it? Hill stations or mountains, rough terrains, etc., etc. So follow-up questions are also built in. So what does it use? It has a chat interface. It has the ability to extract and categorize, analyze the question, convert that into a SQL, call the REST API tool, and construct the final answer back to the user, and also ask follow-up questions like a salesperson. So Mahesh asking, background of a chatbot, we can have agents integrated for with API calls. So yes, you can connect API calls. So I've shown you there is this particular node type, which is HTTP requests. You can use HTTP request in that. Also, you can develop MCPs and use MCPs, which are the AI world equivalent of REST APIs. Niranjana, how best, I love this question. How best can I use agentic AI in instructional design in edtech industry? Tell me, what do you do in edtech industry? You develop content, right? And you understand how much potential AI usage, especially agentic AI usage, has in generating content. You can generate content, you can generate videos, you can generate voice, you can review script, you can develop scripts, you can review scripts, you can build various tools. So I am also a fractional CTO in a e-learning company, e-learning technology company, and we develop this kind of tools internally. How can it be used in legal field? All right, excellent question. So Ali, in legal field, I actually took a session for one of the world's largest ophthalmic lens manufacturers a few months back, and for their legal team. I'll give you an example. So when there is a litigation, so your company faces a litigation. Corporates frequently face litigations, right? From customers or vendors or whatever. There is contention and contention on particular agreement in terms of services, and you face a litigation. So what does the legal team do? The legal team creates defense, right? There are different technical terms in your legal world. You create that, essentially you create the defense, right? So how do you create the defense? You first look at you look at read through the litigation, your petition, the petition later that you have received from court or for the claimant, etc. Then you try to search in the internet. Okay, in the jurisdiction of in the stated jurisdiction, let's say it is in India, you will find in Indian legal sites, extract similar cases. There are a lot of sites, let's say for Indian Kanun and all those things, all those sites. You extract legal cases, similar legal cases. How will you find similar legal cases? You will build an agent which searches for similar legal cases with the information that is held in the petition that you have received. You find out similar legal cases, you download that, your agent automatically matches the petition to the similar legal cases downloaded. Then it looks at what was the outcome, what was the defense. It creates the entire defense strategy and all the response documents that you need to submit to the court, etc. All this can be automated. Brilliant use cases. E-learning, legal, there are hotbeds. I mean, if you actually sit down and conceptualize, you can literally save hundreds, monthly, you can save hundreds of hours of work. People are still not waking up in a lot of companies, but I can assure you, these are hotbeds. Anywhere you deal with research and content generation, it's hot spaces of AI agent development, AI automation development. Can each agent connect to different LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini? Yes, absolutely. It can connect to any of the models like we saw. Our agent node can connect to any model that is in the choice. And when you are writing programs, so you can also write. Can we add the tools in any order to the agent? Yes, that is fine. Can a single, but your prompt has to refer to those tools and provide clear instruction as to how those tools, when those tools have to be used. How much time does it take to write such agent for legal field? If you learn, it doesn't take much time. I mean, see if I'm writing something with the visual agents, something can be written in literally half a day or 1 day if you are proficient. If you're proficient in coding and proficient in one of the frameworks like OpenAI SDK or LangChain or LangGraph, something like that, um, that also can be written very, very fast because nowadays you use AI to write code, right? Nobody writes code by hand. When I used to be a developer, I used to write code by hand manually. One program used to take, say, 5 days. Once medium-sized program used to say 5 days to code and test and deliver for me. That same code I can deliver, write and deliver within 1 day maximum, maybe in a few hours. So it doesn't take much time. What do you take into account if you're building an agent to a client in order to determine the price? Building an agent for a client in order to determine the price. What is price? What is price? There are two terms. One is cost, one is price. Cost is what is your expenditure in performing that task or producing that service or producing that product. But what is price? Price is defined as the highest amount the client will be eager to pay for that product and service. It depends on competition, it depends on the value you are providing, etc. So it's very subjective. So, and it also depends on how you brand yourself. How can agentic AI might be useful for system? A lot of automation. So when you do not know what is possible using agentic AI, you do not know what automations can be created, right? So in the course, we will also solicit use cases from problem statements from the audience and create solutions as to how those automations can be created, either using programmatic frameworks or using um, visual agents. Same for system admin, a lot of automations, right? Yashwant?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Manas, for such an insightful session.